I want you to look little Coco in the eyes and tell her that shadow strokes, they're a complete waste of time. They don't really do anything for your tennis game, right? And that is unfortunately what the majority of tennis players believe, apparently, because very few tennis players I've coached are willing to voluntarily go out and do shadow strokes and do them well and do them properly. I'm talking about juniors and adults. Only the elite players do shadow strokes well and do them often, right? You're going to see a bunch of drills that Coco Gauff is doing with shadow strokes in this entire video. And my hope is at the end of the video, you're going to be inspired enough and serious enough and buy into that. Look, if you can't do this stuff without the ball, right? If your feet are not in the exact position, your swing path is not exactly correct without the ball, how do you expect for things to work perfectly and beautifully with the ball? and and you can see that over and over and over again, day after day, Coco is going out to the court and doing shadow strokes. Now, most of these videos are going to be when she is a junior playing, but she still does all this stuff today as a French Open champion. And I think that her footwork was actually the number one reason she won the French Open this year, is because it was a windy day. So it wasn't going to be, she even admitted, hey, I know it wasn't going to be beautiful tennis. But on a windy day, if you're able to make those footwork adjustments better than your opponent, get in position, get more balls in play, and then knowing that your opponent that you play has impeccable footwork and speed, you start to try and thread the needle a little more, and it forces on forced errors. That's why she won. And so what I've done for people out there is I've created a 5-day beautiful tennis challenge where we're going to be doing cardio footwork exercise like this, although watered down for adults. This video, I want juniors to watch this video too because it's super important for everybody. But this video is actually for adult tennis players over the age of 30, between a 3.0 and 4.0 level. And the first thing that I teach people is, before we are like moving so dynamically like Coco, we've got to make sure that the swing path and every single element of the shadow stroke is 100% correct. What you don't want to do is just go through the motions. You just don't want to go through the motions and think that you're doing good work, because then you could make your strokes even worse. What you want to do is you want to make sure that every single movement is absolutely correct. So I kind of make you go into like a robotic style of shadow stroke. So we make sure we get every single piece from a forehand, a backhand, a volley, and a serve. Then I do some Tai Chi with you. So where now we add some flow to it. And then the final thing that we're going to do before we hit the court, because I also have on-court hitting drills, is we're going to be doing some cardio footwork and shadow swings. But you can see here, Coco, I mean, she wasn't just born with great footwork. She might have been born with foot speed, like she might be a naturally great athlete. That's always a big debate, with people like her and Roger Federer and Carlos Alcaraz and Michael Jordan. Were they just born talented or not? But you can see she absolutely took her physical gifts and worked her butt off to make sure that she was going to get the absolute best out of her game. And the great advantage you have over Coco is that she's playing against the best athletes in the world. So to stand out and have great footwork at the pro level is truly special. To be able to do it at a club level is pretty darn easy, because most people that you're going to play against, they never even do shadow strokes. How do I know this? Because when I run camps, I say, okay, we're going to do exercise like I'm showing Coco, although they're much easier. People are looking at me like puzzled, like deer in the headlights. I've never done this before. I don't know how to do this. I don't even know how to make my first move. And they feel silly doing it. And to be honest, they don't look very natural doing it, right? They don't look like you believe that they are playing tennis. So what you want to do is you want to get into this habit to where when I'm watching you hit a shadow stroke, it looks like you're playing real legitimate tennis. That's when you know you've got it. And then everybody else that you're playing against on the tennis court, they kind of look like chess pieces out there in the tennis court. They don't look natural. They don't look like They move well. They're just standing there. So what I want you to do after watching this video is be super excited after we congratulate Coco. Look at all her hard work. And I want you to sign up for the 5-day Play Beautiful Tennis Challenge so that you can start to automate your footwork. You cannot tell and yell at yourself to move your feet. That's the biggest mistake you're making. You've got to do the exercises so that your feet have no choice but to move properly, fluidly, automatically. Does that make sense? So I'm going to put the link, if you're on YouTube, in the description. Make sure you click on it, sign up. It's a free challenge to sign up for and get access to for 48 hours each day. It's a lot of fun. At the end of the challenge, you're going to have a beautiful looking forehand, backhand, volley, and serve. Who wouldn't want that? We'll see you guys in the next video.